The individual property pages are available for every single property within your portfolio. It will show the address at the top. Then we have a map here, so we can zoom in. As it says, you need to use Control to activate the map, so we can see the location of the property. If we want to activate the satellite view, we can simply click satellite and it will show us the aerial view of the property. And if we want to view street view, we can grab the human icon and drag it onto the map, and we can see the location of the property, what it looks like, and compare it to the data that we have. There's also a button at the top right of here, so if you wanted to view this full screen, you can, and you can do that for any of the views as well. On the page, the second window down will show you the property details. So it will show you its UPRN, its address. So you'll see here if I take the roof insulation, you'll see the value that it's set at, and then the number next to it is its U value or efficiency rating, depending on what it is we're looking at. On the right hand column we have various metrics, so it's current heat demand in kilowatt hours per metre squared per annum, its current carbon output kilograms per annum, and we also have potential values for both of these metrics, which tell you basically the savings you could potentially make if you brought it up to the current building regulations. You'll also see a couple of other metrics here. So the ODC, that just means online database connector, EPC lodgement date, and the last time we updated it from the EPC. So you'll also see here the current SAP score on this is 57, and potentially we can get it to 72. So this potential value, as I mentioned before, is about if you took it to current building regulations. It doesn't include things like renewable heating sources or PV or things like that. It's just about the building fabric and bringing it up to standard, really. If we click the compare and update button, the data will check what's in DREAM and what's in the EPC register, and it will show you any fields that are different between what's on the system live and what's lodged on that open EPC register. The open EPC register is only updated quarterly, so it's always at least 3 months behind. There is also the potential that it could be up to 6 months behind, so it's not an instant comparison. If you wanted to pull over the data, you simply click accept here and it'll turn green, and you can see it's put a line through the 100, and it's going to replace it with the 270. So current is what's on DREAM now, suggested what is on the open EPC register. And then if we click accept, it will pull that data over. So you'll see it updating and reloading the page, and we can see in here that the roof insulation has gone to 270 with a U value of 0.15, and it will have rerun the calculations. Depending on how many calculations are in the queue behind, it might not be absolutely instant. It might be a minute or two before it actually updates the full calcs. If there's nothing in the queue, it will be pretty much instant. Just because this is demo data, this hasn't updated, but it would put in the date of where the EPC, the last EPC lodge date was, and it would have pulled in today's date of when we actually updated that information. Moving down the page, we then have combinations of improvements. So what you can see here, it's saying the improvement name is lighting and roof. If I hover over the information window, you'll see a pop-up. So this is suggesting we put 100% low energy lighting in this property and 400 mil of loft insulation. If we did those measures, it would raise our SAP value to 60. You can see currently it's 58, so it would be a 2-point increase. Our environmental impact value, so that's the CO2 per square metre per annum, it would go to 73. Our carbon reduction would be 101 kilograms per year. It would save us £57 per year, and it would reduce our heat demand from 79.71 to 78.91. The next option on the list includes the two items above it, but includes filling the cavity. It shows us the same improvements, what it would do. Again, we then improve the controls to the heating system. This option here, where it says heating, it's actually changing the current standard gas boiler for an aerated gas boiler. Then basically putting on a mid-size 2.5 kilowatt power solar panel array. Then as we move down, you'll see that we have adding an air source heat pump. So no heating upgrade and no solar panels. This is just going temperature controls, air source heat pump. And then the next one down, air source heat pump and a solar panel, what it would do. Moving down, we then have the energy cost usage of the property. So you can see here we have current and potential. Under current, if I hover over, it will tell us the estimation of the current energy use cost for this property. So 146.88, it's current lighting and heating, and potentially what we could get that down to, taking the property to the current building regs. Our CO2 and energy optimization shows us how optimized the property is with regards to carbon. So the more blue in this chart, the more options have already been applied. So from here we can see there's only a relatively small carbon saving that can be made from outstanding retrofit measures. On the energy, we could save a bit more energy, but there's still quite a lot of items have already been done on this property. Then as we scroll down, we have information on different improvements that could be done to the property. So we have items here like triple glazing. Now it might not be a financially viable option, however we want to show you those values of what it would do and what the savings could or couldn't be. It may be that this property is on a flight path or beside a busy road, and triple glazing is something you want to consider. So we include it there so you can see what the savings would be, same metrics as above. We include things like underfloor insulation, air source heat pumps, ground source heat pumps, different levels of loft insulation, different sizes of solar panel array. We can include almost any kind of option in here of what we can do to the property. And then as we go down, if you've had thermal imaging carried out in the property, what you'll see is the thermal image of the property so that you can see where its heat loss actually is, and there will be information here telling you that there are regions of concern on this property, missing and damaged insulation, and some information on the affected areas.